Once upon a time, there was a mother and her two sons, and nothing could hurt them as long as they stayed connected to their home.
But the evil out there is clever. One touch without a robot is all it takes.
So, after your rope broke, did you notice anything? Why are you asking all these questions? Mama never lied to us.
That's what it wants you to think. Say it.
Never let go.
At the beginning of the movie, we hear a child narrating. First, it came to Mama as a snake. Then it took other forms to torment her. But Mama was a good little girl. She listened to her parents and always stayed on the rope. So, the evil couldn't touch her inside the house. Because if the evil touches you, it makes you do bad things. Suddenly, a woman wakes up from a bad dream. She walks to the door, holding a lamp, and recites a prayer. As she steps outside, she hears the chirping of a frog. She carefully sits down, attempting to catch the frog, but finds nothing. Then, a strange voice comes from behind her, and she turns to see a terrifying man standing there. She then goes upstairs to wake her two children, Sam and Nolan. The narration continues. Mama says there is only love inside of us. That's why the evil wants us so badly. He wants to destroy this love, make us turn against each other, kill each other, like it made the people in the world do. All it needed one touch, without the rope on, and then not even the house can save you. The next morning, we see the three of them leaving the house. They tie the rope around their hands and say a prayer. Then, they each head into the woods, spreading out to search for food. And this marks the beginning of Chapter 1, The Rope is Your Lifeline. While searching for food, Mom notices a man walking and staring at her. She ignores him and keeps moving. The child continues to narrate. Mama told us that even before the evil possessed everyone, the world was already bad. Grandpa built this place for Grandma, a blessed house, far away from the world's darkness, where the evil wouldn't be able to come in. But after a while, Grandma started to feel a presence in the woods, and she refused to leave the house anymore. So, Grandpa figured out how to tie the rope to the foundation of the house so she could finally go outside. Then we see Nolan climbs a tree to collect eggs, but notices they are broken. He spots one intact egg in the distance and tries to reach it, but his rope is too short. Determined, he begins to untie the rope when Sam suddenly appears and stops him. They move away, but as they walk, Nolan steps on Sam's rope, causing Sam to fall and injure his leg. Panicked, Nolan blows his whistle to call their mother. She rushes to them, but Sam starts hearing eerie noises from the surrounding woods. Nolan unties his own rope to help him. Their mother arrives, but her rope isn't long enough to reach them. Suddenly, an entity appears, moving toward the boys. Mom cuts her rope and rushes to her children, tying the rope around them to protect them from the entity. Only she can see it looming ominously behind them. Once they reach the house, Mom urgently instructs the children to recite a prayer to ensure the evil hasn't touched or possessed them. The children obey, reciting the prayer aloud. Afterward, Mom examines Sam's foot and discovers it is badly injured. The scene then shifts to the dinner table, where Mom shares a chilling story. She begins, "One time, the evil came to me as a little girl, crying for help. She was just at my rope's limit, her foot caught in a gopher hole. She was in pain, screaming. I kept telling myself it wasn't real, but the screams went on for days." Mom continues, "Every morning, I checked to see if the evil had given up, but she was always still there. I realized it wanted me to untie my rope and go near it. It wanted me to doubt myself." She says the evil is clever and patient. "One touch without the rope on, and it's gonna get you," she says. "Never let go." Kids repeats, "Never let go." Then we see their mother opening the cellar door. She asks Nolan, "Did you imagine?" Nolan replies yes. She prompts, "Tell us about it." He says, "I imagined it was all gone. You, Sam, Coda, house. All I had left was darkness. I thought about birth in this house and how it keeps us safe every day. Then, I felt the darkness float away. Their mother smiles and says, "Look around and see how lucky you are. The evil cannot touch you here." She then turns to Sam and says it's your turn to cleanse your soul. As Sam steps into the cellar, she gently reminds him, "Lose us completely, and then find us again." With that, she closes the door. Later at night, Nolan asks Sam, "Did you notice anything strange after your rope broke?" "That was the first time we ever let go and nothing changed," Sam replies. "'Cause evil didn't get us." Nolan asks, "Do you think Mom would have killed us? Like she killed Papa, Grandpa, and Grandma?" Sam says, "Evil touched them. She was protecting us." As time passes, whatever food they have stocked starts finishing, marking the beginning of the second chapter. How will I feed my children? We then see their mother in the woods, searching for an animal to hunt. Suddenly, she hears a crow nearby. As she approaches to hunt it, she sees the crow pecking at Nolan's face. He turns and looks at her. Startled, she glances again but only sees the crow. As she shoots, she is haunted by a vision of Nolan's ghost. Then she scrapes bark from a tree and, back at home, cooks it for her children. They all struggle to eat it. The next day, we see all three of them scraping the tree. Suddenly, Nolan senses movement nearby. As he moves to investigate, he is dragged toward a well by his rope. It's then he realizes it's nighttime, and he's outside the house without his rope. He hears the croaking of frogs and the rustling of leaves. Relief washes over him when he recognizes Coda, his dog. Just then, his mother grabs him and forces him to recite the prayer over and over, desperate to ensure he is still untouched by the evil. Later that night, Nolan tells Sam they need to leave the house. Sam responds, "Evil will catch us as soon as we take off the rope." Nolan reassures him, saying, "We can do this." Sam then asks, "What about Mommy?" Nolan replies, "We'll come back for her once we find something to eat." Sam insists, "Mom knows what's best for us." Nolan quietly responds, "I don't think she does anymore." Unbeknownst to them, their mother is listening to the entire conversation from outside. The next morning, their mother introduces them to an old camera and shows them photographs from a time before the evil ended the world. She explains that there's only one film left in the camera, and she's saving it for the right moment. Then, she mentions they are running out of food and suggests killing Coda, saying it could last them a month. Nolan protests, saying maybe it's safe to leave this place without the rope, since nothing happened to me last night. Their mother responds, "The evil wants you to doubt me." Nolan shouts back, "What if you're wrong? What if the world is still out there?" She screams, "There is no world out there. It's either the house or the evil." Nolan takes Coda outside and sits, hugging him tightly. Just then, his mother appears and picks up her weapon. Without a word, she takes Coda from Nolan's arms and heads toward the greenhouse. Nolan screams, crying out desperately for Coda. As their mother takes Coda inside the greenhouse, she hugs him tightly and cries. She thanks him for taking good care of them. With trembling hands, she aims at Coda. Suddenly, Nolan appears, saying, "It's not real. You need to see that there's nothing to be afraid of." He swiftly cuts the rope, binding her, and locks her inside the greenhouse. Panicking, his mother screams to open the door. She screams, "The evil is real, and I brought it here. If it touches me, it will make me kill you." Desperately, she shatters the window glass. Just then, an entity appears and tries to haunt her. Entity says, "I told you, I am gonna make you eat your babies." But before the entity can reach her, she slits her throat, ending her life. Sam bursts through the door, rushing to save their mother, but she's already gone. Frozen in shock, Nolan watches the lifeless form of their mother, and a chilling realization dawns on him. The evil is real. Everything his mom said was true. To survive, they must remain tied to the rope. And with this realization, Chapter 3 starts. What will become of us? Now, without their mother, Nolan and Sam struggle to survive. With no food left, Nolan brews pine needle tea and brings it to Sam to ease his hunger. Just then, Nolan notices that Sam's health is getting worse. The next day, determined to find food, Nolan ties all the ropes together and ventures deep into the woods. Eventually, he reaches a road, but the rope runs out, preventing him from going any farther. Desperate, he screams for help, but only silence answers. Dejected, he returns home, and a man appears from behind. The man says he was hiking and heard someone screaming for help. Was that you? Nolan explains. My brother is sick, and we need food. The man offers help, saying he has food in his bag. Suddenly, Sam appears, holding their mother's weapon. The man raises his hands, trying to calm him, but Sam accuses, "You killed my mom." Confused, the man pleads, "This is a misunderstanding. I'll leave right now." Sam orders, "Don't move." Nolan interjects, "What if he's a real person?" Just as the man tries to go back, Sam shoots. The man cries out in pain, stumbling toward the woods. Nolan chases after him and finds the man lying on the ground. We see that the man has already called 911 for help. Desperate, Nolan snatches the man's bag and returns to his home. Nolan, starving and desperate, begins eating the food from the man's bag. He then offers some to Sam, but Sam refuses. Nolan says, "Mom lied to us about the evil. We're not the only ones left in the world." Sam shouts, "She killed herself to keep us safe. And you still won't believe it?" Later that night, Sam, still hungry, begins munching on the food from the man's bag, finally satisfying his appetite. He then digs through the bag, finding the man's wallet. Inside, he discovers a photograph of the man with a young girl, and also a flashlight. As Sam sits outside, holding the flashlight, he hears a strange noise coming from the greenhouse. Curious, he goes to investigate. To his shock, he sees his mother inside, but when he enters, he's hit by a foul smell and finds nothing. Just then a girl suddenly appears from behind, saying, "I'm looking for my dad. He told me to wait by the car, but he never came back. Have you seen him?" Sam shakes his head to say no. The girl looks at the flashlight in his hand and says, "That flashlight. It's my dad's." Her eyes widen in horror as she peers inside the greenhouse. She cries, "What have you done to him?" and runs away in terror. Without thinking, Sam runs after her. She races deeper into the darkness. But soon, Sam's rope grows short. In desperation, he unties it, saying, "I know she's real." As Sam drops the rope, he watches the girl run further into the dark woods. He sprints after her. As he stops and looks around, he sees multiple hands crawling up the trees, sending a chill down his spine. Startled, he hears eerie, unnatural noises echoing from the trees. His eyes dart upward in panic. We see the girl crawling down the tree behind him. Suddenly, she appears and leaves her tongue to Sam's hand. The tongue slides up his sleeve and into his mouth, forcing its way inside. And Sam's eyes glaze over as the possession takes hold. The scene shifts to Nolan, who suddenly realizes Sam is missing. He ties a rope and notices a flashlight lying on the ground. As he picks it up, he hears Sam calling him. He moves to check, but is startled. He sees Sam cutting his rope. Just then, he turns back and finds Sam there. Startled, Nolan runs back to the house. Once inside, he hears footsteps above. He follows the sound upstairs and finds Sam sitting on a bed. Cautiously, he enters the room and asks, "Why did you cut my rope?" Gripping Sam's hand, Nolan begins reciting a prayer. Before he can finish, Sam suddenly attacks him with a knife. Nolan manages to escape, slamming the door shut and locking it behind him. Sam blocks the door with the bed, then turns on loud music and sets the curtains on fire. Realizing the house is burning, Nolan rushes to the window. To his horror, he sees Sam calmly sitting outside. Nolan climbs out through a window, pressing himself against the house to stay protected. Sam taunts him. "The house won't protect you anymore." Desperate, Nolan climbs back into another room. Suddenly, he hears his mother's voice calling his name. Meanwhile, Sam casually takes a selfie in front of the burning house. Inside, Nolan sees his mother. She says, "You destroyed your whole family, and I didn't even have to touch you." Nolan insists, "You're not my mama," she replies. "I am the darkness that was inside her. I am the darkness that flows in your blood. All you got to do is let go." Nolan says, "I can't," and rushes downstairs. He flings open the cellar door. As the entity approaches, he shoves her inside and leaps in with her, slamming the door shut. He holds her tightly, refusing to let go. She thrashes, trying to escape, but Nolan begins reciting the prayer his mother taught him, and the entity starts to emerge from his mother's body, revealing its monstrous, true form. Nolan's voice breaks as he screams, "I love you, Mama." The entity pauses, then embraces him, and in that moment, it dissolves into nothingness, vanishing into the dark. The scene then transforms to a rescue team, lifting Nolan to safety hoisting him into a helicopter. Exhausted and dazed, Nolan asks, "Where's my brother?" A rescuer shows him Sam lying nearby. Relieved, Nolan says, "We're free." Then we see the photograph Sam had taken earlier, showing the entity's hand on Sam's shoulder. It indicates that the darkness still lingers within Sam, now unleashed into the world. And the movie ends here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the chills, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a scare. Until next time, stay spooky.